What happens when Apple has to choose one AI brain to run Siri, and it's not the company that started the AI revolution? Why would Apple shift from OpenAI's ChatGPT hype to Google's Gemini infrastructure? And what does it mean if Siri stops being a voice assistant and becomes a background agent that can connect your texts, email, photos, and apps into one context about you? Today we're breaking down the Apple-Google AI deal, how Google won it, why OpenAI lost the center seat, and what this changes about privacy, competition, and the future of iOS. The $1 billion handshake. Why Google won. The numbers alone are staggering. While OpenAI was reportedly struggling with the massive hardware costs and monthly profit losses of maintaining its lead, Google was playing a different game. On January 12th, 2026, it was confirmed that Apple will pay Google roughly $1 billion annually for access to its AI infrastructure. But this wasn't just about money, it was about foundation models. While Apple Intelligence initially launched with a 150 billion parameter cloud model, the move to Gemini 3 grants Apple access to a massive 1.2 trillion parameter model, an 8-fold increase in raw processing power. Apple's internal testing reportedly showed that their proprietary models were failing complex queries 33% of the time. This integration marks a pivotal shift where Google's massive compute advantage effectively outmuscled OpenAI's first-mover status. By securing this deal, Google ensures that its Gemini architecture becomes the underlying operating logic for over 2 billion active Apple devices. This strategic maneuver doesn't just provide Apple with a superior brain, it effectively creates a moat that prevents smaller labs from ever competing at the OS level. Google didn't just offer a chatbot, they offered a contextual memory architecture that was stable, scalable, and crucially, backed by Google's own TPU, Tensor Processing Unit chips. How the Siri Gemini stalking works. The magic of this deal lies in what Google calls cross-app reasoning, now integrated into the core of iOS. In the past, Siri was the assistant you used for timers and reminders, nothing more. Under the new Gemini 3 architecture, the walls are absorbent. By mid-2026, Siri will have on-screen awareness and agentic vision. You can be looking at a blurry photo of a car engine in your gallery, and Siri, powered by Gemini, will identify the part, check your Gmail for a warranty, and search the web for a mechanic all in one go. This level of multimodal synthesis allows the AI to perceive your digital life as a single, fluid timeline rather than a collection of scattered files. By constantly analyzing the context graph of your interactions, Gemini can predict your next move, such as suggesting a flight check-in precisely as you open your packing list. This means Siri is no longer waiting for a command. It is living in the background of your OS, quietly connecting the dots between your past behaviors and your future needs. It is a proactive agent that replaces search with retrieval. It's no longer about you finding data. It's about the AI reasoning across your private data to solve logistical nightmares. Sidelining OpenAI, the code red moment. So, what happened to OpenAI? Just 18 months ago, ChatGPT was the star of the show, but by late 2025, OpenAI reportedly issued an internal code red. While ChatGPT remained a brilliant knowledge base, it lacked the omnipresent integration that Google could provide. Apple realized that for an AI to be truly personal, it needs to be clinically superior at memory. OpenAI's models are excellent at talking, but Google's Gemini 3 proved to be better at agentic AI, the ability to actually do things. This code red was triggered as internal memos revealed that GPT-5 iterations were struggling with multi-step reasoning and a cold personality that didn't meet Apple's strict quality standards. Consequently, OpenAI made the defensive pivot to focus on their own dedicated AI hardware, with Jony Ive, essentially choosing to become a direct competitor to the iPhone rather than its subservient brain. This strategic retreat allowed Google to fill the vacuum, transforming a one-time startup partnership into a secondary opt-in feature for Siri users. By the time the Apple deal was finalized on January 12, 2026, OpenAI had effectively been demoted from a primary partner to a third-party plugin. In benchmarks like ARC-AGI-2, Gemini 3. Pro nearly doubled the score of GPT-5.1 in abstract visual reasoning. For Apple, the choice was clear. OpenAI is a tool you opt into for a creative chat, but Google is the central nervous system that runs your digital life. The privacy guardrails, the stateless AI solution. The biggest hurdle was the privacy trade-off. How does Apple, the champion of privacy, partner with the world's biggest data miner? The answer is Private Cloud Compute, PCC. Under this deal, Gemini 3 models are deployed on Apple's own servers, not Google's. User data remains isolated in a local privacy vault or on stateless PCC nodes, where data is never persistent. To further fortify this, Apple introduced on-device edge processing for the most sensitive user queries, ensuring that raw data like your personal photos and text messages never actually leave the physical hardware. This creates a local privacy vault where the AI can reason through your private life locally, only pinging the cloud for general knowledge tasks while keeping your identity anchored and anonymized. Even when the cloud is engaged, the system uses transparent source attribution, allowing you to verify exactly which email or document the AI is referencing, so you know it isn't hallucinating your life. This creates a global intelligence layer, where Google provides the brain, the reasoning, but Apple provides the skull, the security. It's an incognito mode for your entire OS, ensuring that your most personal data points never actually reach Google's advertising algorithms. The Musk factor and the regulatory storm. Not everyone is happy about this unreasonable concentration of power. Elon Musk has already called the deal a threat to competition, noting that Google now effectively powers the intelligence layer for 90% of the mobile market. Musk's criticism, voiced immediately after the January announcement, centered on the fact that Google already controls the world's most used browser in Chrome and the dominant mobile OS in Android. He argued that by becoming the foundational brain for the iPhone as well, Google is effectively securing an unreasonable monopoly over the two most important mobile ecosystems on the planet. This has already caught the eye of the European Commission, which on January 27, 2026, gave Google a 6-month deadline to remove barriers for rival AI tools on Android to ensure a level playing field. Regulators are now questioning whether this $1 billion a year handshake is a non-compete payment in disguise, designed to prevent Apple from ever building its own search or AI infrastructure. With Gemini powering both Android and the iPhone's Siri, Google has bypassed the need for a search engine altogether. They have become the universal commerce protocol. If Siri, via Gemini, books your flight, orders your groceries, and manages your emails, do you ever need to click a Google search link again? Probably not. Google hasn't just won the Apple deal. They've rewritten the social contract of how we interact with technology. Conclusion. Google's cucking of OpenAI is a gamble on the value of infrastructure over hype. By embedding Gemini where users already are in their pockets and their daily workflows, Google has ensured that personal intelligence is no longer a luxury. It is the default. For OpenAI, the era of being the sole leader is over. For Apple users, the era of the generic assistant is dead. Siri finally has the brain it was promised back in 2011, and ironically, it belongs to its biggest rival. This massive platform shift creates a unified global intelligence layer that bridges the gap between competing operating systems, potentially allowing your AI agent to follow you seamlessly even if you switch hardware. Industry analysts suggest this move is a strategic play to standardize a new era of agentic commerce, turning every smartphone into an autonomous transaction hub that prioritizes convenience over total privacy. By consolidating these capabilities, Google and Apple are effectively rewriting the social contract of mobile technology, moving toward a future where personal refers to the AI's deep understanding of you rather than just the device you carry. Would you trust Google's brain inside your iPhone's body? Let us know in the comments below. While you're deciding whether to opt into this new digital stalking, like and share this video with your fellow tech enthusiasts. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an update on the AI wars. Thanks for watching.